Okay, sorry I keep running out of memory on my phone. I do a lot of these videos, but that's where I'm at right now. And I'm more than happy to put our heads together, figure out the best way to move forward. Main thing is, I don't want you guys to have to, it's a compromise situation. And I appreciate the work. I don't want to be ungrateful. By the way, I'm going to turn down the heat and turn on this heater in this room and leave that going. Unless the outlets are dead. It's on a switch. But we're going to turn that down. I'm just going to keep it at 65. That's good enough. Keep the fan on low. But anyway, in my opinion, and maybe when you're up here, if I do it this way, maybe you want to get a quote for texture, and then I'll have everything skimmed. So that's another option that you could do, because I feel confident with my skimming, not so confident with my texture. I think I can get good enough, but it doesn't make sense to have someone else do it. And I'm not trying to walk away either. So anyway, I think I'm kind of repeating myself at this point. What we have done is pretty good. I think I can kind of see, like, this is awful. I don't think that's all from my roller. I think it gets a little bit extra textury, and that's another thing that you can do is we can go with a heavier nap roller and go heavier texture to try and hide some of those bumps and create that look with this. But you can see over in this section, anyway, can't really tell until it dries. We'll see what that looks like once it's all the way dry. Cleaning up is going to be a big thing. I'm going to bring my other truck tomorrow so that I can clean up some of this stuff. And really, what I'd like to figure out is how far can I get before I need to call it and switch gears to cleaning up for you guys. And then you guys come up, do work, enjoy it, whatever it is. If you guys ding the wall and it's textured and not painted yet, then, we'll just mud it. It's not a big deal. But for me, I'm already going to be behind because I need to start this bathroom. If you think of it this way, once I start that's going to be a skim coat, 24 hours, skim coat, 24 hours. So that bathroom alone is going to take me 3 to 4 days to do because it's out of sequence with the job. Typically, I would come in, I would mask everything that needs to be skim coated. I would do all my skim coating. In 2 days, all of it gets skim coated because it's not the time that it takes me to skim coat so much. In fact, doing all this would probably fill an 8 to 10 hour day, but it's the dry time. So then I do everything's masked. That's the first 4 hours of the job. Then I try and get as much skim coated as I can, let that dry, skim coat everything, 1 skim coat, let that dry, skim coat everything, 2 skim coats, let that dry. Look at what needs a 3rd skim coat, let that dry, go and texture everything, make sure the texture is good, go through and prime, and go through and paint. Priming 1 day, painting 1 day, all this done. And then in the meantime, I'd be working on that. And that's where I came up with the week-long bid. I don't have a secret formula, I just guess. And so that's where I came up with that number, is going through and doing 1 skim coat, that's 1 day, 2 skim coats, 2 days, a 3rd texture day and masking and whatever, that's 3 days, a 4th day of priming, and a 5th day of painting, not even counting the cleanup. So even at that, I'm probably a little bit under, but that's how I did this job. There's no smoke and mirrors. I put 500 in for materials. I think I'll be under in that because you helped out with having some of the primer and you bought a gallon of paint. But, that's basically, those are my numbers. That's where I came up with those numbers. And because we had discussed a check originally, it's $50 an hour. If we want to do cash, I usually do 35. If it's like cash money, I'm willing to negotiate there. I try not to go under that. I usually charge 65 in the summertime, but 50, I'm happy with 50. And I'm also willing to eat some of it because of what's been going on. Now, the kitchen is hard to charge you because I was kind of doing multiple things at once. You've done some of the bathroom. That saves me some time out.